If you're coming up on the end of an internship or a full-time job, let's talk about the most important things to do prior to actually leaving your role. Hi, I'm Laura, a PM working in tech, and on my channel I cover my life working as a PM, my life working in tech, and other computer science related advice. The first thing I really want to highlight is to connect with everyone on LinkedIn. Now, everyone kind of has their own opinions, thoughts, and feelings about LinkedIn, so I'll save that for a different video, but connecting with people on LinkedIn is a really cheap and also valuable way to further your network and connections. As a student, building out a professional network is a pretty monumental task because you just don't know anyone, and you don't really know anyone else who knows anyone either. But if you're finishing out your first internship or full-time job, you've probably worked with a ton of different people across the company and on different teams that also have pretty good networks themselves since they've been in the industry for at least a few years at this point. You've also probably worked with more people than you think you have, so being able to actually backtrack and take a look at who you've worked with is a good way to kind of recap their work and summarize what you've done over the course of your internship or job, which we'll also get to in a later point. Whether you've worked really closely with one person all summer or you've just had a one-on-one chat with someone else, these are all valid reasons why you may want to connect with someone on LinkedIn. Some people just don't check LinkedIn, so don't be too offended if someone doesn't respond or if you never actually get that connection request accepted. But in any case, it doesn't hurt and it's pretty cheap, and no one's going to be mad that you sent in a LinkedIn request in the first place. Another plus to connecting with someone that you have worked closely with, though, is that they can offer you a LinkedIn recommendation. Now, honestly, I don't know who looks at these and if recruiters even care about the LinkedIn recommendations that you have, but a lot of cool people out there have them, so I figure it doesn't hurt to ask. And it also doesn't hurt to have them on your profile either. Typically, I would say someone who's mentored you closely or worked with you closely directly as a teammate, or even your manager are all great candidates as someone to write you a recommendation because they have spent the most time with you and can also speak to the quality of your work a little bit better than someone else that you've worked with tangentially or just for a week or two. Now, back to the larger point of connecting with everyone on LinkedIn, it may seem a little silly, and granted, it probably is, but who knows where this person will be in the future, and they may be a next connection to land your dream job or dream role, and you don't even know it. Over the coming years, a lot of people will have moved on to different companies, jobs, and roles, so having them and their expertise in your network never hurts. And if you're already reaching out to people and sending them connection requests, then it also never hurts to express your gratitude, especially if they have been particularly helpful for you in your overall career or journey, internship, whatever. A second thing to start out is all the benefits you get of being an employee at that particular company. As an employee at any company, there are going to be some sort of benefits or perks to working at that company. This is probably going to be a little bit more evident for full-time employees than interns, but nevertheless, there are benefits in both roles that you should take advantage of and keep in mind. For full-time employees or FTEs, the main thing that I can think of is going to be financial benefits, so maxing out retirement accounts, any reimbursements or well-being benefits or perks like that. Knowing when the eligibility for bonuses come out and if you're still eligible depending on your start and leave date. So as an intern, these things aren't going to be available to you, but there are probably smaller perks as well that you can take advantage of and look into as an intern. I'll speak at least specifically for Microsoft since I'm not really sure what other companies offer, but for Microsoft interns, they offer a year of free Game Pass, some Azure subscription credits, a well-being reimbursement, a discount for some things throughout the greater Seattle area, and there's also an internal list floating out there somewhere of all the other perks that you do get as part of being a Microsoft employee that you are eligible for as an intern, even if you're not an FTE. So obviously your mileage here with respect to benefits will vary a ton, but just double check, make sure you cross all your T's and I's, and you are taking advantage of the benefits that you do get as an intern or FTE. The third and last thing that's really important, especially for interns, is to make sure you're asking for feedback on a frequent cadence, and especially at the end of your role. In the corporate world, feedback really makes the world go round. Honest and transparent feedback from the people that you've worked with is going to be the best way to actually level up, be more aware of your weaknesses, and how to leverage your strengths in the meantime, and grow your career otherwise. A prerequisite for this, though, is to make sure that you document all the big things that you've worked on and any big projects that you've made a meaningful impact towards. This will give you a good starting point when it comes to reaching out to people and asking for feedback from them. But also, as another important note, these are going to be the things that you put on your resume, so having a good idea of the metrics and the exact impact that you did cause is going to be really helpful and help sell your resume to the next job or recruiter who looks at your resume. The end of an internship particularly, though, is a great time to ask for feedback. It's an expedited display of the quality of work and what you're capable of if you do decide to return to the company. And as an intern, you've also probably worked closely with another full-time employee that can really vouch to your skills and give you good critical feedback about your strengths and weaknesses throughout the whole internship and where you've grown the most as well. Of course, your manager is also probably going to be a great resource, but they are likely going to be a little bit less hands-on for you as an intern than they would be if you're a full-time employee working directly under them. Speaking again specifically for Microsoft interns, you can collect feedback internally from other people, and this will live on a profile forever, at least if you ever come back to Microsoft. So if you're an intern interested in coming back as an FTE, then having this collection of feedback from other people across the company can actually be a really great help to boost your candidacy and help you offer and negotiate better for that return offer. If you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're ending a full-time role, then hopefully you've already had different check-in points and different points to get feedback from the teammates and people that you've worked with. But if not, it's also a great time to recap, get a holistic overview of the work that you've done and the quality of your work, as well as what other people have to say about working with you. So that's a brief and very expedited guide on the 3 things you should do prior to leaving an internship or first full-time job in particular. I know a lot of you are coming up on the end of your first internship or second or third, so hopefully this is a helpful resource to come back to even in the future for your next internship. If you have any other advice on helpful things to wrap up prior to leaving a role, please leave in the comments down below. If you have any other questions, feel free to schedule a coffee chat with me and join the conversation on my Discord channel, both in the description box down below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week for a brand new video. Bye.